Today, I want to celebrate and show off Palestinian artists. I am pro-Palestine, and you should be too. I do not feel I am qualified to educate others fully on the matter, but that doesn't change my mind on the apartheid state. If you are pro-human, you are anti-apartheid. I will try my best to source articles I use. I pick out artists whose art truly speaks to me and will be using my art history knowledge to talk about their pieces, and I will also be giving a little bit of their story. My goal in this video is to show that Palestinian people are human and to celebrate Palestinian art. Art is political, it always will be. You can't separate yourself from politics, even if you actively avoid politics. That action in itself is political. To transition to the artists, I want to quote the first line in this Guardian article. The territory's vibrant arts community was testament to Palestinian resilience, but now it is losing voices central to its spirit. Artist 1. Heba Zagout. Heba Zagout was born February 18, 1984 in Gaza's Al-Bureij refugee camp. Heba gained a graphic design diploma from Gaza's Training College in 2003 and a bachelor's in fine art from Al-Aqsa University in 2007. Okay, let's talk about her art. To tie in a little art history, her paintings follow themes of pointillism and fauve-like styles. My favorite pieces by her are Olive Tree and Jerusalem. So right here, this is Jerusalem. Let's take a look at Olive Tree. So right away, the style that sticks out is pointillism. To briefly explain what pointillism is, we'll rely on Britannica's definition of pointillism, the practice of applying small strokes or dots of color to a surface so that from a distance, they visually blend together. So let's tie this back to a famous piece that you might know. So that would be probably George Seurat's A Sunday on La Grande Jatte, right? Again, we see pointillism in Zagout's Olive Tree, but instead of small uniform dots, we see more like raindrop shapes of color that make up the piece. We see it more in the forefront of the painting than in the back. I mean, obviously, because we are supposed to be looking at the tree. In this piece, we see at what first glance can be classified as random strokes of color. We can see orange, blue, white, yellow. We know that these strokes of color are not random, but in place of a more realistic color, like darker and lighter greens and browns. Something similar can be seen from work like Suzanne Valadon and fauve-like painters. But the colors chosen to be laid on the canvas aren't random. If we look at the color wheel, we know that orange and blue are opposites. And orange, green, and blue, and also yellow, sit next to each other on the color wheel. As for the yellow and white, we can see these colors are used to show light in the piece. From a more political and historical standpoint, olive trees hold significance to Palestinians, economically, culturally, and politically. Culturally, many Palestinian families get olive trees passed down through the generations. Economically, olive oil is the #1 export of Palestine, and politically, planting olive trees, especially in areas riddled with violence and political strife, becomes a profound act of defiance and hope, and that is a direct quote from Savior Flair. Taking a step back to catch themes throughout Heba Zagout's work, color seems to be a big factor in her work to symbolize and trigger certain emotions in the viewer. She also uses iconography from her culture and home to invoke emotion and symbolism into the viewer. Heba Zagout was killed on October 13th, 2023 from an Israeli airstrike along with 2 of her 4 children.
حاولت في الرسم إني أعبر عن المشاعر السلبية والانفعالات والتوترات اللي بتصير في غزة. يعني كلنا بنعرف إنه مدينة غزة كتير فيها توترات سياسية وأحداث مش بسيطة.
Laila Shawa, artist 2 of 3. Laila Shawa was born on April 4th, 1940 in Gaza, 8 years before the Nakba. She received her degree at the Leonardo da Vinci School in Cairo, Egypt, and the University of Rome's Academy of Fine Arts. Laila Shawa has a huge cultural impact on art. For this, I decided to quote the article directly. The art newspaper says she was once described as the mother of Arabic revolutionary art and was one of the first prominent Palestinian artists to cross over into Western markets with her work collected by the British Museum in London and Ashmolean Museum in Oxford, as well as the National Galleries of Jordan and Malaysia. Her art focuses on politics of womanhood and Palestinian liberation. Favorite works I have by her are masks and disposable bodies. The first piece I ever saw by her was Disposable Bodies. It's one of those pieces, at least for me, and I think most people can see and understand the meaning of the piece to an extent. I want to, instead of doing my own analysis, read a few analyses from museums to paint a different type of picture instead. So right here is from the LACMA, and they say, Laila Shawa used paint, photography, silkscreen, and sculpture to create vibrant works that are inspired by the lives of Palestinians living in Gaza, where she was born. Her penetrating series, Disposable Bodies, in which brightly painted mannequin torsos are bedazzled with large colorful rhinestones, black lace or peacock feathers, and weapons or ammunition, references but is not meant to glorify violence, rather combining sensuality and the aura of threat. It vividly defines the value, lessness, of women's lives in a patriarchal society that demands purity and conformity. In a more universal sense, the sculpture dramatically captures the notion of male dominance over female sexual agency. I would also like to add that the LACMA has an Instagram and offers another analysis for the piece on there if you want to check that out. This next analysis is from Artsy, and it is very different from the first one, so I thought it offers another perspective. It states, Laila Shawa is a renowned Palestinian artist who uses bright, bold sculptures, paintings, and prints, often derived from photographs, to provide an uncompromising commentary on events in the Middle East. Her acclaimed 1994 series, Walls of Gaza, features images capturing messages of hope and defiance that have been spray-painted on the walls of Gaza by its citizens. They were given heightened meaning through the artist's inclusion of symbols like targets and dollar signs. Irony features heavy in her work as she underscores the absurd in order to help viewers comprehend the horror of a situation. Deadly drones are interspersed with Liechtenstein-style graphics in Gaza's sky. The scene reflects the disconnection from reality that a person controlling a drone experiences. Unafraid to court controversy, her Disposable Bodies series features lavish adorned female torsos draped in suicide belts and examines the motivations of female suicide bombers. Now, from my research, the sculpture that is shown while talking about the disposable bodies is Disposable Bodies 4. So I think that's important to make that clarification. I would also like to say that my favorite is Disposable Body 3. I found the colors and the execution so different from the others that it stands out, almost like Shawa couldn't keep up the illusion of the bright colors and jewels offering illusions of happiness with their situation, and a warped look into what womanhood is. Laila Shawa died October 24th, 2022. She was 82 years old. Malak Mattar, Artist 3 of 3. Malak Mattar was born December 17, 1999, on the Gaza Strip. She uses her art as a voice for Palestinians' culture and their pain. I can't recommend this video of her from 3 months ago enough. I think she just explains herself better than I ever can. In the video, she talks about deciding not to use color in her art anymore. In her own words, I decided I'm not going to use color anymore. I simply looked at all the colors and I only saw black, because it's reality. And because this time, it's too hard, it's too brutal. Like art for many people, Mattar paints to express the emotions she's feeling. Painting helps her push forward in this ongoing genocide. My favorite works by her are When the World Sleeps and No Words. I want to talk about No Words more. So this piece is featured in the 2-minute video that I mentioned before. So again, couldn't recommend that enough. This piece is part of an exhibition by Malak Mattar called Last Breath. The artist residency Instagram that she's a part of posted the exhibition and had some words about the piece itself that I will read for you now. The exhibition features the largest single canvas work Mattar has ever produced, titled No Words. The painting weaves stories of human experiences from within the Gaza Strip since 7 October 2023. In contrast to Mattar's previously vibrant figures and compositions, this monumental work's gray expressions and palette directly respond to the unfolding bloodshed. Overflowing from this painting, the exhibition includes additional works from her 8-week residency at An Effort, such as expressionist faces and depictions of human relationships within animals, a characteristic of her practice. Last Breath departs from Malak's previously hopeful paintings, reflecting on her anguish for the Gaza Strip. This piece reminds me of Pablo Picasso's Guernica. The background information about this piece is German soldiers dropped bombs for 3 hours straight on the village of Guernica. The bombing killed 1/3 of the town's population. His painting depicts that day, how people felt, and, he looked at the photos in the newspaper on what was left of that town and painted based off of that. This piece reminds me of No Words because, to me, these paintings remind me of a breaking point for both artists. Picasso was famously apolitical before this painting. Both artists are tired, fed up, hurt. They're broken from war, broken from pain and suffering. Even the monochromatic color palette, I think, gives off a similar visual effect that both pieces have. Even though, having a sort of black, white, gray scale might make it seem like almost like less vivid, it actually makes the piece louder and stronger. It makes the message scream at you. I would say louder than color could do. I think this monochromatic color palette actually helps you sort of feel the pain of the people in the piece more. I think it is also worth mentioning that Pablo Picasso's painting does have a person holding a poppy flower in their hand as well. Malak Mattar is still alive, and as of today, she's 24 years old. She also has an Etsy shop if you want to show her more financial support. It is linked in her Instagram bio. So I just wanted to say that all of these artists have an Instagram. I do not have Instagram, but through my research, I did see their Instagrams pop up. So they do have Instagrams, so definitely check them out. I'm not quite sure if you can buy their work. I do know for Malak you can. I did see something for Laila Shawa, but I'm not sure. I'm not very sure if there's a main one. A lot of it seemed like a lot of resellers and stuff like Redbubble type things. I have a whole script and a whole work cited page, and I did MLA format because I'm pretty sure MLA format is what you would use for art. So that's what I did. My goal is to just copy and paste it in the description box. And if I can't do that, I'm going to make a Google Doc and just like put the Google Doc in the description or in the comments. Like I will, like, it might not be there right away if I can't get it, but like please come back, please like check my sources, like, you know, like read stuff like that. I did go off script and I did decide to like not say a few things because I thought it was like not necessary and things like that, but I'm gonna just post the whole script that I have and that I wrote. So I also want to say that they're doing a creator fund for Palestinian Children's Relief Fund. So like a bunch of creators are getting together and doing that, a lot of big ones. So definitely check that out. I also want to say that I'm a part of art club, and for art club in the spring semester, we made things. Someone donated that pin that you see, or the pins, these Palestinian pins, and we raised money for the Palestinian Children's Relief Fund as well. We raised $1,000 to give, and that was really huge because my club advisor said that was the most we've ever raised for an organization, a charity. So that's really huge, and I wanted to say that so people know that like you don't need to be like a YouTuber with 1 million subscribers to help. We're just a club of people, and we all shared an idea. We all shared a common goal and a common belief that nobody deserves to die. And yeah, so that's it. Thank you if you watched. I will point you in the direction of Democracy Now!, which is a news site, and they bring on many people to talk about the Palestinian genocide. So please check that out for further information. Thank you.